Walk through nearly any market in Turkey, and one small object seems to follow you everywhere.
A round blue glass bead, shaped unmistakably like an eye, staring gently back at you.
You'll find it hanging above doorways, pinned to a baby's blanket, dangling from a taxi mirror. This is Nazar boncuğu, and it might be the most recognizable charm in Turkish daily life.
Its purpose is simple and a little poetic. Protection from something called the evil eye.
Not a curse from a villain, and not tied to any single religion or belief system.
Just an old, widely shared idea that a look of envy can carry real, unintended weight. So here's the real question. How did a simple blue bead become a shield against a stare?
The story starts with a very human feeling that shows up in cultures all over the world.
Someone praises your new house, your new baby, your sudden good fortune, warmly and sincerely.
According to the old belief, that admiration, even meant kindly, can carry a little sting. Too much attention, too much envy, even unintentional, is thought to invite bad luck. The Nazar bead exists to gently intercept that look before it lands. Its blue glass, ringed with white and darker blue, is shaped to resemble a watchful eye.
The idea is almost playful. The bead looks back, so the negative gaze never quite reaches you.
This belief is genuinely ancient, with roots reaching back thousands of years. Glass eye amulets have turned up in archaeological sites across the ancient Mediterranean world.
Blue glass itself was historically rare and prized, associated with clear sky and open water.
Over centuries, Anatolian glassmakers refined the craft into the bead recognized today. Workshops near Izmir became especially well known for this specific, careful glasswork. Molten glass, shaped by hand, layered in rings of blue, white, and sometimes gold.
No two handmade beads turn out quite identical, each one carrying its own small imperfections.
Those imperfections aren't treated as flaws. They're treated as proof of a real, careful hand. The belief itself isn't unique to Turkey, though the blue glass bead became distinctly its own. Similar ideas about a harmful gaze appear across the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and South Asia. Turkey's version simply developed its own clear, unmistakable visual signature over time. In daily life, the bead shows up at nearly every major, hopeful life moment. A newborn baby is often given one almost immediately, pinned discreetly to their clothing. A new car gets one hung from the mirror before its very first real drive. A new home, a new business, a wedding gift, all commonly include a bead somewhere nearby. It's less a superstition people quietly hide, and more an open, cheerful gesture of goodwill.
Giving someone a Nazar bead is genuinely understood as a small, sincere act of care.
It says, without needing any further words, I wish only good things for you. There's an interesting twist folded into the tradition, too. If a bead ever cracks or breaks on its own, it isn't seen as bad luck at all.
It's seen as the opposite. Proof the bead did exactly its job, absorbing something harmful.
When that happens, the broken bead is simply replaced, calmly and without any real worry.
The belief travels lightly across religious lines, which is part of what makes it so widespread.
It shows up in Muslim, Christian, and Jewish communities across the wider region alike. Most people today will readily admit they don't take the superstition entirely literally, but the bead remains everywhere anyway, treated fondly as tradition, craft, and quiet reassurance. It sits in that comfortable space between genuine folk belief and cherished cultural habit. Even fully modern, secular households often keep one hanging quietly by the front door, not necessarily out of deep conviction, but out of warmth, familiarity, and old habit. The bead has also become one of Turkey's most recognized and beloved souvenirs abroad. Visitors take home bracelets, keychains, wall hangings, and small framed versions constantly. For many travelers, it becomes a small, cheerful reminder of Turkish hospitality itself.
Because underneath the folklore, the bead is really about one very human instinct, watching out for others.
Wishing someone well isn't treated as passive here. It's given a physical, visible form. You don't just hope nothing bad happens to someone you care about. Some families keep an especially large Nazar bead mounted above their main entrance. It's meant to catch envy directed at the whole household, not just one person.
Bakeries and small shops often display one near the register, protecting daily business. Airlines and shipping companies have even painted the symbol onto planes and containers.
It's treated half seriously, half affectionately, a nod to luck as much as belief.
Turkish wedding traditions frequently include Nazar beads woven into the bride's accessories.
The idea is to protect the couple's happiness right at its most visible moment. University graduates sometimes receive one pin to their gown before the ceremony begins.
Even football teams have been known to keep one near the locker room entrance.
The specific setting changes constantly, but the underlying wish never really does.
Protect what's good. Don't let admiration curdle into harm, even by accident.
It's a strikingly consistent thread running through an otherwise fast-changing modern country.
You hand them something small and blue and say it out loud in object form instead.
So step back and consider what this little glass bead is actually doing, beyond the folklore.
It's a small, tangible way of saying, I noticed your good fortune and I want it to stay.
In some cultures, admiration gets offered and then simply forgotten a moment later.
Here, admiration comes with a small accompanying gesture, a physical wish for continued safety. That habit turns a fleeting compliment into something a little more deliberate and lasting.
It's a reminder that goodwill, expressed only in passing words, can feel thin sometimes.
Goodwill given a small physical form tends to feel a little more real, a little more meant.
You don't need a handmade Anatolian glass bead to borrow the underlying instinct here. Just the habit of following up genuine admiration with something more than a passing comment. A small gift, a specific gesture, some small object that quietly says, I want good things for you.
It costs very little, and it tends to be remembered far longer than words alone.
In Turkey, that instinct got shaped, quite literally, into blue glass and careful craftsmanship.
A newborn's blanket, a new car's mirror, a doorway welcoming friends inside.
Each one carries the very same small, watchful wish, repeated quietly for generations.
Not fear dressed up as decoration, but care given a shape you can actually hold. Somewhere in Turkey right now, a glassmaker is shaping molten blue glass into another careful eye.
Somewhere else, a new bead is being pinned gently to a newborn's soft blanket.
Small, blue, watchful, and warm. A centuries-old way of saying, quietly, may only good things find you.
Care, it turns out, doesn't always need many words to travel clearly between two people.
Sometimes it just needs a small round piece of blue glass and a willingness to give it freely.
Even skeptics who don't believe a word of the old superstition still buy one anyway.
It becomes less about warding off harm and more about marking a moment as worth protecting.
A graduation, a first day in a new home, a baby's first week, all deserve a small blue witness. Shopkeepers often gift one to customers making a big purchase, almost as a friendly seal.
It isn't sold as insurance against bad luck so much as offered as a gesture of thanks.
Children grow up surrounded by the beads without ever being formally taught what they mean.
They simply absorb it, the way anyone absorbs the small, constant symbols of home.
By the time they're old enough to question the belief, the habit already feels like theirs.
No insistence needed, just repeated gentle presence in daily life.
A small blue eye, watching gently over centuries of ordinary Turkish mornings.
Passed quietly from one generation's hands to the next without ever needing a single lecture. Just a small blue bead, offered warmly, exactly the way it always has been.
Watching gently, wishing quietly, asking absolutely nothing at all in return.